So percentages with a calculator, we're going to recap kind of the basics of how to do this and then push you on to some kind of harder examples. So quick reminder of finding a percentage with a calculator. Follows the same simple calculation. If you just want to find a percentage of a quantity, you just take that percentage, you divide it by 100, which changes it into a decimal. It's decimal equivalent. Then you multiply that by the quantity. Okay, so you can copy down that formula quickly, please. And if you feel like you already know it, you don't have to copy the full thing down. We do have some questions to then do. So percentage divided by 100 times the quantity. So what I'm going to focus on today is reminding you or trying to get you to go straight from that percentage to its decimal equivalent, basically. So 59%, if we start with this example one, which is find 59% of £4,230. So to find 59% of something, you take the percentage, 59, and you divide it by 100. We will then times that by 4,230. Now, if you do 59 divided by 100, what it does is it changes that percentage. It's now as a fraction. It changes it to its decimal equivalent, which is quite simply 0.59. So I want you guys, when you're doing this, to just, if you're happy to just go straight from 59% to 0.59 multiplied by the quantity, then please do that. Okay, that's where we all need to kind of get to by the end of today. So 0.59 times that then by 4,230, and we get the answer 2,495.7. Because we're talking about money, that'll need to be 0.70. Okay, and that's it. Now, example B is bringing in a kind of decimal percent, not just a whole number percentage. We've got a decimal number as a percentage. So find 17.5% of 96 millilitres. Can you copy this one down? And we'll talk about how to do it. So again, the basics of doing this question is doing 17.5 divided by 100. Times by 96. Now 17.5% as a decimal, that becomes 0.175. So 17% would be 0.17, 17.5% 0.175. And then we just multiply that by 96, and that's going to get us to our answer. So 0.175 times 96 in your calculator, and as a decimal it is 16.8 millilitres. Okay, so can you now do the two that are for you to try? So find 47% of 420 and find 8.5% of £50 using your calculator. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this now. Put your hand up, please, when you are finished those two questions. Okay, most of you tell me 197.4. A couple of you with slightly different answers. I don't know if that's just slight mistakes putting numbers into a calculator or what, but let me just do 100. I'm assuming the 197.4 is going to be the answer. So 47% is 0.47 times by 420. So that's going to be 0.47 times 420. It does give me 197.4. That's right. Right, next one then, please. 8.5% of £50. What do we get? Just need to be careful. If you're going straight to a decimal here, just be careful. I would encourage you to just do 8.5 divided by 100 just to see what it is, just to check, just to do it in your calculator, just to check that you are getting that decimal correct. £4.25. Yeah, that's correct. So 8.5 divided by 100 times 50 times 50. Why is that not writing? So that gives me 0.085 times 50, which does give me an answer of, in this case it's money, so it's £4.25. Okay, I think that's fine. Seems straightforward enough for that. So what I just want to do is this next question, which is kind of just moving on to like worded examples, real life context. That's now kind of where we're at. So this is the question I'd like you to do for me now. So in the Scottish independence referendum in 2014, there was approximately 3,600,000 votes, of which 55% voted against independence. I can't remember if we have already done this question or not, but using that, going straight to a decimal, from the percentage to decimal, can you tell me how many people voted against independence? Okay, so you should be able to do this very quickly just now. So 55%, change it to a decimal, multiply it by the number, what's the value? So we've got an answer. Let's see it. Okay, so 55% of 3,600,000. That's the question. So what are we getting? Yeah, that's right, guys. So 1,980,000. So 55% of the 3,600,000, which is 0.5. So 55 divided by 100, which is 0.55 times that 3,600,000, and that gives you the 198. 1,980,000 people that voted no. And how many voted yes? If you do that question, well, it's quite simple. There's two ways you can look at it. You can do 45% of 3,600,000, or you can just do 3.6 million, take away the 1.98 million, and get your answer there. Okay, I'm kind of rushing through because there's more questions I want to get onto. I'm going on to the next one. So what I want to do now is have you do this question. Okay, so Glenaford Town Council are expected to increase council tax by 4.5% for the oncoming year. It says Mrs McGlinchey of Glenaford paid council tax totalling £850 last year. So what would you expect to pay this year? So it was £850. They are expected to increase by 4.5%. So what should she expect to pay this year? So do this question now, please. Hands up when you have an answer, please. All right, quite a few of us have an answer. Loads of us. 20 more seconds or so. Okay, I think that's all of us, just about. Right, hands down then, and type me in your answer for this question. What is it? So, was it £850 last year, increased by 4.5%? So, what would she pay in total this year? So, what did you get, please? Right, you're all giving me the same answer, which is great, 888.25. I'm going to assume that's the correct number. Okay, here's a way, I don't know, so I can't obviously see you're working, but here's, 1 second. Right, just wait 1 second, I'll go over the example in 20 seconds. Just take it out. I'll still be another 5-10 minutes. Okay, so what we could have done to get this question is find 4.5% of 850 and then add it on, right? So just kind of a standard percentage increase. So we could have done 4.5 divided by 100 times 850, so that's going to be 0.045 times 850, which gives me that £38.25, and then we'd say the new value is 850 plus 38.25 to give me 888.25, right? That's fine. There's a quicker way we can do it, and some of you may have done it this way. I hope you remembered from August using the multiplier to do a percentage increase or decrease. Okay, and this is what I want us to do from now on. So the new method that I want us to focus on is doing it this way. So we would say that for an increase of 4.5%, it means that we're starting off at 100%, as we always start off, and we are adding on 4.5%, and that means that we have a total of 104.5%. What is that percentage as a decimal? Well, all you need to do is divide it by 100 to change from a percentage to a decimal, and it's 1.045. Now that is called a multiplier because all I need to do with this decimal number is multiply it by any number, and it will give me the percentage increase for a 4.5% increase for that, and that will give me the final value. So the new value is quite simply 850 multiplied by 1.045. If you didn't do that, do it this way. Can you do this calculation? Put this into your calculators right now just to check. It should give you the exact same answer. 850 times 1.045. And right enough, it does give me straight to the same answer, 888.25. So hopefully you remember doing this, working with this kind of multiplier method. So if you can quickly get your percentage increase or decrease and turn it into a decimal multiplier, all you have to do is multiply your starting value by that and you'll get straight to your answer. So this second method is the one I want us to use kind of from now on. Okay, so we're going to do some examples on that. So this is example 2. So copy these down with me just now. This is percentage increase decrease using a multiplier. So I'm going to do these two with you. You're going to copy them down and copy it exactly the way I do it, and then you should be ready to try the exercise. So the first one is just quite simply increase 300 by 6%. So rather than finding 6% of 300 and then adding it on, we're going to do it a more efficient, a more mathematical way and use our multiplier. So our multiplier for an increase by 6%. Now, for the purpose of these examples, I'm going to write it out in full. 100 plus 6 equals 106, which goes to 1.06. If you can go straight to 1.06 at this point, do it. Okay, if you can be consistently correct and go straight to the decimal multiplier, do it. Because the whole point of this is to be more efficient. But for the purpose of this example, I'm going to write it out in full. So we start at 100%, we are increasing, so we add on this percentage here, 6%. That means that I will then have 106%, which I change to a decimal by dividing by 100. And that gives me my decimal multiplier as 1.06. And when you practice this, you really just start to get the hang of it. Add 6%, 106, 1.06. If it was 8%, it'd be 108%, which is 1.08. Okay, just remember to always do that division by 100. Always remember to change it into a decimal. So now all I have to do is to get my new value is just 300 in this case times by the multiplier. And that takes me straight there. So now there's only one thing to kind of put into a calculator rather than maybe having to do a percentage and then also an addition or subtraction. One thing to put in the calculator and then it's 318. Done. Okay, we'll do the decrease now. So decrease 128 by 15%. So again, figure out the multiplier for this time as a decrease by 15%. Okay, and we haven't done one of these yet, so please write this out in full for me just now. If you can do it in your own working quicker, then that's fine, but just now write this out in full. So it's 100%, that's where we're starting, and we are taking away 15% this time. So if we decrease by 15%, that means there's 85% left. What is 85% as a decimal? Divide it by 100. It's not going to be 1 point something, it's going to be 0.85. Okay, 85%, 0.85. 85 divided by 100, 0.85. So then the new value this time is 128 multiplied by 0.85. Put it in your calculator and you should get that it's 108.8. Now, a few things to note. One of them is an increase, one of them is a decrease, but they are both multiplying, okay? Common mistake to make is people see decrease and they think to divide because they automatically think that's going to make the number smaller, but it is not going to do that. When you multiply a number by something bigger than 1, it gets bigger. When you multiply something by a number less than 1, it gets smaller, okay? So it's always multiplying in your decimal multiplier. If you get that right, then you just multiply by it and that's you. Okay, I want to do a couple of quick questions and then I'll let you crack on with the assignment. Anyone get any questions about that just now? Apologies if I'm going quite fast, but I'm trying to get through quite a lot of these examples. Right, using that exact same process then I want you to do this next question over the page. So your turn is to increase 52 by 7%. Okay, so find the multiplier for an increase of 7%. Then all you have to do is just multiply 52 by that. Whatever that is as a decimal. When you've got an answer, throw it in the chat, please. Don't worry about the hands up, just go straight for putting your answer in when you've got it. Okay, seem to be getting all the same answer, which is good. And it's 55.64, as every one of you are telling me, and yeah, I'm going to assume that's right. So, again, you don't really need to go through the whole multiply 100 plus 7. You don't have to do that. I'm sure a lot of you just went straight to 52 times 1.07. And if you can go straight to that, then great, do it. So 52 times 1.07, and that is, of course, exactly what you told me, 55.64. Okay, so this, that is the key to the whole thing, is getting that multiplier correct. So 100 plus 7% is 107%, divide that by 100, 1.07, and then you just multiply by it. Right, next quick question. That was an increase, now give me this decrease. 186 by 4%. So again, get the multiplier times 186 by whatever that multiplier is as a decimal. It's a decrease this time, and it's 4%. Get your answer in when you've got one. You should start to become pretty quick at this. Okay, don't get complacent and make mistakes with that multiplier, but when you get the hang of this, when you get practice in it, it should just, start to come quite quick. Okay, a few answers coming through now, and again, they all seem to match. 178.56, that's what you're all telling me? Yeah, okay, so this one is 186 times, the multiplier this time should be 0.96. 100, take away 4 is 96%, divide that by 100 is 0.96. Okay, that's where the decimal comes, and then that does give you 178.56. Fantastic work, S3, that's great. And last one before I let you go is one with a decimal number as a percentage. So increase 248 by 17.5%. Give me this one, and that's your last question in the call. So be very careful with it, please. So find me the multiplier for an increase by 17.5%, then use that to multiply 248. Give me your answer in the chat when you've got them. Okay, any answers? Okay, great stuff. You're doing really well this afternoon, third year. Please be. So everyone again has got the same answer, so I'm going to assume it's correct. 291.4. So that will be 248 multiplied by, now it's an increase, so we add 17.5% to 100, so that gives me 117.5, which as a decimal is 1.175. So if it was just 17%, it would be 1.17. If it's 17.5%, 1.175. And we do that multiplication, and the answer is 291.4. Let me just double check that is correct. Just trusting you now. Yeah, absolutely right. Okay, so you guys are now ready to do the assignment which I've set for the class. Now you've only got about 20 minutes left in this, in your day, don't you? You don't have last period, so there is quite a lot of questions. I'm not expecting you to get through it all. Okay, the first exercise in the assignment is just find a percentage of whatever using a calculator. So like 12% of this number, you just go straight to 0.12 times it. So, but that should it shouldn't take you long to bash out those answers. And then there's a few kind of harder questions with that, and then it's moving on to some percentage increase, decrease, after it. So you may not get on to the second exercise. That's okay. I need you to send me pictures of your work though, so I know how far you got, so I know whether to give you some more time tomorrow to do it or whether to do something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up just now, and I'm going to let you crack on with the assignment.